Hi there! This month's theme is about peace, and I thought it was important enough to make a vlog for this. And we all know that we are beings that are spiritual, physical, and emotional. So I thought let's just dive in a little bit in all three of those areas of ourselves in order to find peace. And how do you define peace? Personally, I like to see it as, a really still ocean where the sun is shining, the waves are still, there's perhaps a soft breeze, and you're just sitting there on the beach with nothing to do and just staring at this beautiful ocean. The sky is, of course, perfectly blue too. That feeling to me is peace. How often do we have this feeling during the day? We're often chased by our endless to-do lists, the responsibilities we have, fast-paced society we live in, news to keep up with, the drill. And in order to find peace, let's just zoom in on these three areas of who we are. So spiritual is the first thing I mentioned, so let's just dive in there. Also, personally, I would define that as the core of peace. It's the well where you dive into to find that peace. It's the source. And I have to say, I'm a little bit biased because 4 years ago, 2018, I totally unexpectedly found Christian faith. And that turned my life upside down, but that's a whole different story. But it also brought me home. And it actually, the instigator of finding faith was the experience of peace that I had, an experience of peace that I had never had before. And I did, at the time, meditation, yoga. I was a yoga teacher, mindfulness. I did all these things for 20 plus years. What I now like to see and say now is that I used to have this peace on the surface with all these yoga, meditation, all these modalities. Underneath, though, I was always restless, seeking, traveling the world literally to find answers, and never finding, and always on to the next adventure and the next big thing and the next training or workshop or book. Exhausting. And then when I found faith, it was reversed. It was as if underneath the surface of the ocean there was a peace that passes all understanding, and on top of it there may be waves, the weather may be rough, the storms of life, but underneath there is this peace that I'm always able to dive into. And so my question to you is, do you have that sense of peace inside of you, underneath the surface? Do you have this well of peace, this source of peace that you can dive into and calm down into and rest in, recover, replenish when you need it? If not, I would say keep seeking, because as it says in the Bible, if you keep seeking, you'll find. Very simply said, keep knocking and the door will be open to you. So just don't give up and keep seeking that sense of peace. And in the meantime, just close your eyes and ask. Ask whatever you consider your higher power. For me, it's of course God now, but whoever you or whatever you see as your higher power, ask for truth, ask for answers, and just keep on knocking and keep on searching, and you will find this peace. It's possible. And then of course the next thing is to actually go there regularly. Even though I know this peace is there, I know that God is there, with open arms receiving me, I still need to make the choice to go there regularly, just like with any relationship, because I see Christian faith as a relationship more perhaps than a religion. And so with any relationship, you have to give it attention. So creating time for your spiritual being, let's just put it that way. That's number one. Number two, the physical part of us, this body that we receive at birth. We receive it only once. We have one body that we need to, hold on to till the end of our life. How do we treat it? It's one of the most valuable things we have, because it enables us to live. It enables us to breathe, to smell, to connect with other people, to taste, to live, basically. And so often, though, it gives us signals and we ignore them because we want to keep on running and flying and doing all the things we want to do and, keep up with the speed of society. And keep up with our endless to-do lists. And you can already feel the peace flying out the window, perhaps, as I talk about this. And so it's really important for us to check in with our bodies sometimes, just see it as a good friend, you know? Sometimes just you write a WhatsApp message asking, hey, how's it going? It's been a little bit silent, or the other way around, you know, your body has been playing up, like what's actually going on with you? And just finding out what it needs. I'm a very big proponent of finding a way of movement also, as well as food that works for you. So there are so many rules and guidelines and new books coming out regularly telling us how to move, what to eat, all these things, how to relax. But you know best, your body knows best what you need. And everybody is different, literally. So this is about finding out what your body needs. Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. Do you need to stretch? Do you want to run? Do you need to walk in nature? Or just a plain old good evening walk? Do you like to swim? Do you like to dance? Do you like group sports? Do you need to have solo time when you exercise? Do you love the regularity of fitness? Do you need some adventure like climbing? Whatever it is, just even there, if you haven't found it yet, keep on searching and you will find. And it's a fun thing. It's not like, oh no, I have to find my thing, you know, and in the meantime, I'm all stressed out because I haven't found it yet. No, just enjoy the process. It's fun. And I know it's very cliche to enjoy the journey, but it is fun. I mean, finding your way of movement will open whole new worlds for you if you allow it to. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, again, to check in regularly, to just sit down from time to time and, you know, sit on your couch, on your bed, on your chair, whatever, and closing your eyes and just, you know, having a quick scan of your body, just closing your eyes and asking, like, you know, you can do it right now with me, just taking a deep breath and then observing where your breath is coming from. Is it high? Is it low? Is it fast? Is it slow? Is it regular or not? And then checking in with your body also, like, how is it feeling? Is it tense? Where is it tense? Without judgment, just kind of getting a check in. Perhaps there is a sense of pain or tension somewhere, and then just going there with your attention and asking that part of your body, what is it that makes you so tense? What is it that hurts you, you know, that pains you so much that you're expressing it this way? What do you need? And then just taking a moment to hear the answer and trust that whatever pops up is true and is your wisdom talking to you, your body's wisdom. So that said, of course, if you've been doing this, you can close and open your eyes now. You can keep them closed, of course, if you want them. So those body check-ins, finding a way of moving that fits with you, but also finding a way of eating that works for you. Food is fuel. Food allows you to do what you want to do. And especially as women, but also as men, more and more, we get all these messages of, you know, how we should look like, what we should eat, how much we need to weigh. But everybody has its own set point, and in terms of weight, but also we all have our own needs in terms of what we need to eat. And some people really are allergic to gluten. Some people are intolerant to it. Some people just don't feel very well when they eat it. And that's all okay. And the thing is not to judge. Not to judge others who do eat the things you don't eat, but also not to judge yourself for not being able to eat them or for eating them like sweets. How often do we call things our guilty pleasure? But why not just call it a pleasure? You're enjoying it, right? So there is the sense of guilt when we eat something that we love, but perhaps we know or have been told that it's not good for us. And that creates a distorted way of relating with food. And if we allow ourselves all the foods we love and trust ourselves to have them in moderation, what's wrong with that? And if you don't trust yourself to go in moderation, then don't have the foods, at least for a while. Do a detox and see how you go with that. There's so many ways to approach food, nutrition, and the most fun way, I really believe, is to check in with yourself and let your body do the talking, let your body make the choices. Just do it as a fun experiment, just asking yourself every day, like, okay, what do I want to eat this morning? Or just do it with one meal a day, you know? What does my body want to have for lunch? And again, you can check in with your body like you did earlier, just closing your eyes and asking it and see what pops up. You might be surprised. And also paying attention to the way your body reacts to certain foods, because carrots may be super healthy, but you know, perhaps they make you feel cold or afterwards, or kind of bloated or tired. Okay, carrots is perhaps a weird example, but you know, just with everything you eat, take away the notions, the preconceived notions, sorry, that you have about the foods, and be open to just experiencing what it does for you in your body. So that was food. Now we're on to our emotions, because emotions are a part of our lives, and often they're not fun. When they are, perfect, enjoy. I mean, it's great to laugh, it's great to kind of cry with joy. So there are beautiful, pleasant, positive emotions, but they're also the ones that we label as negative, but they're a part of life too. So again, if we remove the judgment, remove the label, and just allowing them to see as energy in motion, like they say, it's energy moving through your body, and the faster it can move through without obstructions, the faster it's going to be out of you, and the better you're going to feel. The nervousness, the stress that often builds up during the day needs a way to be released from our bodies. And if we make time for that, it's kind of like a cleanup, you know, like you would clean your car from time to time. Just, you know, again, doing this check-in, seeing what emotions are stuck perhaps in your body, and then releasing them. And we all have ways to release them. For instance, you can exercise, run, shake, stretch. You can just breathe towards them and feel them and see how they leave your body like that. Sometimes they even leave you with a message, which is always beautiful. A message as in what they stand for, what they're trying to tell you, what is going on in your life that's causing this emotion. That brings healing. Other ways are to talk about them with others, write about them, journal, dance, whatever your way of expression is. Perhaps you play an instrument and you feel like yourself, your emotions flowing out of there. So whatever you have, and there may be beautiful expressions coming out of your emotions. If you pour your emotions into a poem, you might write beautiful poetry that inspires others, or a beautiful song perhaps that comes out. So just releasing the fear of those unwanted emotions is going to set so much energy free. So those are 3 ways for you to find peace in different areas of yourself. And then of course there is the external part of our lives. We've been focusing on ourselves internally, but there's also the external part of life. I could, you know, record a whole new vlog about that, but let me just name a few examples. I've been personally in a burnout for 4 months now, and thankfully it's going a lot better, but I've learned a lot about myself since. And one of those, because I've also been making a plan, like how not to fall back in a burnout again and what may have caused it. And one of those parts is boundaries. And we all know this. It's so important to feel where our boundary is, to allow ourselves to have boundaries. So the first one is to accept, allow, and then assert those boundaries. So really express them to the people that are either about to cross them, which is ideal, or have crossed them, in order to prevent it from happening a second time. And if those boundaries keep getting crossed and nothing is changing, we may have to take consequences. We may have to remove ourselves from certain people. We may have to remove ourselves from certain situations. And it's painful and hard, but there we have again our emotional management that we just mentioned, but it's going to leave us so much better and so much more free in the end. So that part is boundaries that bring peace, which is not the first correlation perhaps we would have thought of with peace. Another example for peace in your external life is your relationships with friends, with loved ones, family relationships. A source of conflict oftentimes. What I love in the Bible is it says, speak the truth in love. And I think that's so important, because oftentimes we keep things inside and then they build up and then we explode And we feel bad afterwards, we feel guilty, we have to fight, we have things to fix up, whatever. But if we express things in time, again, related to those boundaries, and with love, which is often easier if things haven't built up, then again, we smooth things out. And truth is a very important part in that as well. I've been so often, as probably all of you, advised to take the easy way out and just tell a small white lie. But I always find it gives so much more peace to simply tell the truth, which is not always easy in the short term, but in the long run, it's always going to make you feel so much more peaceful. Some other examples of external ways to find peace is also to look at what brings you peace and what brings you passion in your life, and to find a balance between those two. And that's also in terms of work. Are you in the right place? Is this place bringing you peace, or is it bringing you stress? Are there things you can change by, again, asserting your boundaries, speaking up the truth in love? Or is it perhaps time to open your horizon and look for something else that would bring more peace? Of course, those are the bigger themes, and for that we have life coaching, which you're, again, super welcome to make use of. I have a free clarity call where you could see where in your life there is a possibility for more peace, and what first step you could take towards that, internally, externally. It's really my desire for everyone to find that source of peace inside, and to find obstacles in front of it that prevent you from tapping into that source more often. And to live your life with peace and passion, a life that lights you up from the inside out. Anyway, I would love to hear from you. Did you get any useful tips from this? Are you going to implement something? If you have any questions or would like to have a clarity call for free, send me a DM. And for now, I wish you a beautiful and peaceful rest of your day.